today's video is going to be a bit of a home updates vlog, and the very first thing that I want to do is here in the living room. So originally I decided to put this bigger chair in the corner here and then kind of mix it with this smaller one here. But I do have two of these, and the more I look at it, the more I kind of feel like it does need to be symmetrical. These chairs are definitely different materials, but they're also like a really similar color. I feel like they're just not different enough. But second, as you can see, there are cords galore over here. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hide a ton of them unless we have something bigger to sort of shove them behind. So I'm gonna get Jake to help me bring that one in and we'll see what it looks like. Before we bring in the big chair, I wanna just like make sense of these cords. Oh no. I'm gonna see if I can just pull these wires. Then we have the internet. So I'm thinking that this will just sit on either a little table or the ground behind the chair here. Then there's this power cord. The only thing that's annoying though is that you're clearly gonna see all the wires here. There's no hiding that. This is this external speaker, which we haven't really been using. So then it's really just this cord that connects the TV to the power that's gonna be kind of ugly. And so I did order one of those cute little like silk sleeves for wires. Like when you can't hide a wire, it just makes it look kind of pretty. So I don't know if that's gonna look stupid or if it'll actually look nice, but we'll try that when it arrives. In the meantime, I think we just need to hide all this stuff behind the chair. Okay, next I want to talk about cabinet paint. So since the last video, I actually had a better idea for the cabinets. I'm going to keep the uppers the same white that we painted like the walls and everything. I already have that paint, but I decided for the lowers that I want to do something more fun. And honestly, I feel like it's gonna look so much better than the white. I'm just feeling like there's so much white in here, and especially with these countertops that have like the purple in them, I feel like there's nothing else in the space that really speaks to that. And in order to ground this so that it's not just like a random texture and pattern, like cutting the space in half, I think we need something below it that's a lot darker to really ground it. My inspiration for this color was this image on Pinterest, and I found out that that color is called Cola by Farrow and Ball. And then I found this website online that basically will show you really close paint colors to other paint colors. And so I put in Cola by Farrow and Ball, and I found a bunch of colors like across different paint brands that are close. And so I just went to the hardware store and picked up samples for the ones that I felt like were going to be the best. So basically what we're going for is a really deep purpley brown, basically whatever matches the little specks in these countertops. This is Christmas pudding. This is brown velvet. I think this is too brown, not enough purple. This is called Soul Searching. I like this one. This is a little bit lighter than Christmas pudding, but really similar tones. This is called Rockweed, top one. This one's called Black Bean. I think that one might be too dark maybe. And then Bitter Chocolate. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned in the last video that I'm gonna be making my own curtains. I've been really loving this style of curtain, And I feel like it's a really good one to start with if I'm making them myself because there's not a whole lot of sewing. All I would have to buy is the linen because I'm gonna borrow a sewing machine from my mom. So I feel like it could be pretty affordable and DIY friendly, but I didn't want to just buy fabric. I felt like I needed to buy some samples. So that's exactly what I did. And they came in the mail today. And this is from fabricstore.com and they're based in West Hollywood, which is kind of fun. Look how cute they are. Oh my god. These are all my samples. Okay, wow. We have eucalyptus, all of these, and then all of these. They're so, so pretty. I was really wanting to do this color somewhere. It's definitely a statement. But I feel like I don't take enough risks like that, you know? I feel like I do definitely like this green more than this green, which is what I wanted to see. Here, hold them up next to each other. Like this one's definitely more fun and happy. This, like I wasn't going for forest green, I was going for more moss. This is called grasshopper. And so yeah, I definitely want to use this one somewhere. And then let me get all my like reds and rusts together for you. So then there's these, and I think these might look nice in Jake's office. I have this idea of matting some prints that I have for him. So there are these like cool vintage car ads, and I really want to frame them like with colored matting. I just think that could be so pretty, and I was picturing them looking good with like a red or a rust or orange colored matting. Maybe not this. Let's see. I feel like I like these three. I might be leaning towards this, but we'll see. It's hard when you're doing curtains because it's gonna look completely different in completely different lights. Like at night, there's not gonna be any light shining through it, and so it's gonna look completely different with like the artificial light inside the house than it would in the day when there's no lights on in the house, but all of the light is coming from the window. But at the same time, sometimes we're gonna have the curtains opened, and so it's also important what they look like opened, because I didn't really want to just ruche them to the side and tie them up. I might do that in some places, but I was looking at some different ideas like this, which might be nice, which means I think I have to sew something into the back to make that possible. Maybe. There's a bunch of different ways I could do it, but I think it'll be really fun, and sewing, like really basic sewing, is something I've been wanting to like face my fears on and really do, because I think it opens up a whole new world of projects.
That's the footage of the dog escaping.
Perfect. So this light is the next thing to go. I have never done this before, changing out a pendant light, but Jake actually changed all of the flush mount lighting in the kitchen, and it actually wasn't too bad. So in no way is this about to be a tutorial, but we are gonna see if we can figure this out. I got a really pretty rice paper lantern shade thing, and then I just separately bought this light kit, like this pendant kit. So I think you can adjust the length of the cord and everything. And I have my mom here to help me, so we're gonna try to figure this out. Well, I know that the green and yellow is that's the grounding one. Oh. That's it.
So,
Now,
are they all three twisted together?
it's really hard to twist the copper one.
No, it feels odd, just like.
Didn't screw very much in. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Like,
Well, you need a light bulb, right, to check it.
yeah.
It's hanging crooked, you know, because it's not perfect. You kind of have to bend. Can I show you? Bend this that way a little bit so that this isn't forced that way. A little.
That looks pretty good.
Wonder if it's gonna work.
I know. Are they all up?